I burned my soul to keep his world bright, never realizing I was creating my own darkness.
An old lantern sits in a dusty corner. For years it has served the iron guard. Every time the world turned dark, the lantern burned its oil to the last drop to guide the guard's path. The guard never spoke a word of thanks. He simply used the light.
The lantern said, "I have spent all my oil and my glow to keep this room bright for him. This is my purpose. This is my loyalty." One evening, the sky turned a bruised purple and a heavy silence fell. The iron guard grabbed the lantern and headed toward the Valley of Shadows, a treacherous path filled with jagged cliffs. As they reached the heart of the valley, a ferocious storm broke out. The wind howled like a wounded beast. Rain didn't just fall, it attacked. The droplets hit the lantern's hot glass, sizzling into steam. The lantern's oil was dangerously low, and its flame flickered violently, gasping for air. The path became a river of mud. Suddenly, a massive bolt of lightning cracked the sky. The iron guard's heavy foot slipped on a wet, mossy rock at the very edge of a deep abyss. He began to tilt toward the darkness. Without thinking of its own safety, the lantern swung forward with all its remaining strength, illuminating a hidden ledge for the guard to grab. The guard caught the ledge and pulled himself up, but the sudden momentum threw the lantern from his grip. The lantern tumbled down, crashing against the sharp rocks. Its glass shattered, its frame bent into a twisted shape, and its light became a shaky, dying spark. The iron guard stood up and looked at the broken lantern. He didn't check for damage, he checked for utility. "You are useless now. Your light is weak and your frame is broken. You are a liability." Without a second thought, he tossed the lantern onto a heap of rusted scrap nearby and pulled out a new clinical blue LED torch. In the freezing rain, the lantern lay among the junk, oil leaking like golden tears. Next to it sat a broken cycle, its wheels rusted but its posture calm. The lantern said, "I gave him my warmth and my very soul. Why was I thrown away the moment I needed help?" You lived your whole life to be his light, but you never realized that you were a light yourself. We burn for others until we turn to ash, forgetting that our value isn't tied to how much they use us. The lantern stared at the sunrise. It realized that it didn't need a master to have a purpose. Using its remaining oil, it warmed its own heart. The bent frame didn't matter anymore. It managed to pull itself away from the scrap heap, finding a quiet, beautiful garden. There, it hung from a sturdy oak tree, glowing softly whenever it felt like it, not to show the way for someone else, but to enjoy its own light. Wounds of the heart are like cracks in glass. They let the true light shine through. Your value is not in being useful to others. Your value is in the light you carry for yourself. Never live entirely for others. Loyalty is a virtue, but if you lose yourself in the process of serving someone who doesn't value you, you end up empty. Value yourself first. Loyalty is a noble trait, but it becomes a cage when you give your soul to someone who only sees you as a tool. If you spend your entire life burning yourself out to light the path of others, you will eventually be left in the dark when your oil runs dry. Never make someone your everything if you are only a resource to them. Remember, you are not born just to serve or to be useful. You are born to exist, to shine, and to be valued for who you are, not just for what you can do. The most important loyalty is the one you owe to yourself.